G'day everyone. Well, it's all over. The Smart Energy Expo here in Brisbane, it was great. It was a really tight and informative little event. Great to see all those exhibitors there. And it was a big training event for me. We ran the deep dive, me and Jeff Bragg, into 5033. So we had a good turnout of installers there, and woohoo, they got their 30 core CPD points, so that was excellent. But while I was there, I thought I'd take you on a bit of a walk around the expo, and I interviewed a fair few of the exhibitors there. So watch and enjoy. Thanks. See ya. G'day, I'm here with Colin Wang from Znshine Solar at the stand at the Smart Energy Expo here in Brisbane. And I've just met Colin. Colin's actually from Sydney. Colin, you're a bit of an old timer in the solar business.
Oh yeah, I started in the solar business since 2010.
Wow.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah. So you've been through all the ups and downs?
Absolutely. I remember very well, the early days when we started in the retailing of the solar systems.
Yep.
That was a small 1.5 or 2 kilowatt systems.
Oh gosh,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, but with very aggressive incentive, 60 cents in New South Wales. And then of course dropped, just less than a year, which was originally intended for 5 years program. Then to 40 cents, and a few months later to 20 cents, and then a couple of months later everything's off. So we got all the stock stuck on hand. So that was a huge roller coaster.
And how's it changed? How's it going now?
Well, the solar has been on the roller coaster more or less all the time, and the typical saying is that nothing stays longer than 6 months.
Right. Yes.
The status quo always changes constantly.
So do panels, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. With the technologies, with the distributions, everything in almost every aspect. Yeah.
So tell me about Znshine. I'm looking at some panels behind me. Are these yours?
Yeah, absolutely. I joined Znshine actually since 2015, and Znshine has very much a family-owned company. Of course, we're listed in certain stock exchange in China.
Yep.
And the business started in 1988 with the lighting products. And at one time, the company has been the biggest global producer of certain components in lighting.
Yes.
The business has been very innovative, and they diversify itself into the solar since 2007. And since then, we have focused very much on the solar. We still retain the lighting business, which is about 10% of the group, but 90% is now focused on solar.
Yes.
And we have 10 gigawatts capacity.
Wow.
And we've been in Australia in the recent 3, 4, 5 years. Relatively recent, let's say, not as early as other brands may be in Australia, but we are making good presentations, and we've got increasing confidence from the customer side on our products, because we are very much keen on the quality consistency, and particularly I think that as a family business we look long term.
Yes.
Instead of the short term benefit.
Yes. You've got to protect your family's reputation.
Absolutely. That's paramount. Yeah, yes.
So Colin, tell me a bit about the actual panels that you've got here.
Okay, the panels we've got here, actually, as Znshine as a tier 1 module manufacturer, we offer full range of panels. But of course, for the Australian market, which has a special demand because of the policies in place, we have the current latest models, such as 415, 440 watt, as well as 550 watt panels. But everybody, I think, more or less has similar models at the moment. But what makes Znshine different is that we offer double glass panels, which is the most sturdiest, I would say, configuration of the panels.
Does that mean they're bifacial or just double glass for robustness?
It's double glass. It could be also bifacial, but I think there are some misconception in the market that bifacial is good for everything, which is not, because technology, well, the reason why, and we won't go there at the moment. Then we also come up with another very distinctive feature, which is the self-cleaning, because it's a patented special coating with graphene technology, which will significantly reduces the maintenance of the panels. So this means that the panel stays cleaner, hence more power generated by the Znshine panels than any other brands that I'm aware of.
I've got a friend in the panel cleaning business, so I better tell him to get a new job.
Absolutely. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm sure the customer will thank you. They want low maintenance. I mean, essentially, that's what solar panels are, the lowest maintenance energy generation you can get.
Absolutely. Very few people will think about the panel once it's installed on the rooftop, as well as that actually climbing onto the rooftop is a risky job, right? And a single level might be easier, but with double stories, don't forget about it, because it's not worthwhile to risk your life. But with a Znshine self-cleaning panel, you just simply get more out of the panels by not doing nothing.
That sounds great. So where are they distributed in Australia?
Well, across the states, except the Northern Territory at the moment.
Right, okay. Oh, well, I look forward to seeing one on a roof.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'm here with Rex Wang, and I've known Rex for a long time, at the Smart Energy Expo here in Brisbane, at the Growatt stand, and we're with their wonderful little hybrid inverter here. Tell me about this inverter, Rex.
So this is actually, we didn't call it a hybrid inverter, we call it a battery ready. But right now the battery is already ready in Australia, so obviously you can call it a hybrid as well. But the main difference for this inverter, as you can tell, there's another two strings. I mean, this is PV, it's just a standard TRX PV string, but you got two more input like here. This is for the batteries.
Right, so battery ready. So you just install it as a normal solar inverter, and when you want to add a battery at a later stage, you can plug it in.
Exactly. All you had to do was prepare the cables, the power cables, communication cables, earthing cable, every cable for you. All you had to do is ask the qualified installer and put the batteries underneath of this inverter. So obviously you start from two pieces. So the batteries are from 5.12 kilowatt hour to 18 kilowatt hour, 7 pieces of them.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it's modular.
Modular design. Each modular 2.56 kilowatt hour, and depth of discharge is like 90%.
Wow.
10 years warranty, standard 10 years warranty. And this inverter is also 5+5. All you had to do the 5+5 years of warranty. All you had to do the online registration. You got a full 10-year warranty.
Wow, that's cool. So Rex, tell me about the inverter, its power ratings.
Power rating for this one, it starts 2.5 to 6 kilowatt. And so obviously it's just like our on-grid standard TRS on-grid inverter. But it got a battery capacity, that's it.
Right, and the battery capacity, what's the charge rate?
Charge rate, if the less than 4 modular, that will be like 3 kilowatt, 3 kVA. And if it's larger than 4 of them, and it's a 5 kVA.
Right.
Even charge and discharge. Off-grid, you use the backup box, also 5 kilowatt, 5 kVA load capacity.
Let's have a closer look at the connections. Let's lie down for a second. And so across the bottom here, this is the number one feature I think that a lot of people are asking about. Tell me about the DC isolator.
DC isolator is already AS6060497.3 certificate. Both inverter and the DC isolator together. It's not separated. Before separated, and it's not allowed. Right now it's together with both inverter and DC isolator together. We're going to finish that one, and it's totally qualified as the inbuilt DC isolator in Australia and in New Zealand. No problem. Go for it.
Well done, because that's a big challenge for a lot of inverter manufacturers to get the combined tests done on their products. So. Compliant DC isolator, love it. So there's our battery ports, so battery ready ports, dual MPPT.
PV,
Yep. And we've got a connection here for the Wi-Fi dongle. Meter?
Yeah, system meter, is the communication for meter. Yeah, for the load 24 hours load consumption.
Yep.
As long as the battery is a 24-hour load consumption, no battery is only daytime.
Right, so it's not just monitoring production, but also consumption.
Yeah.
And 24 hour because you've got a battery system attached. That matters. And this communication port here?
Yeah, communication port for the I think it's for DER.
DER. Yeah. So if you put something like a flexible exports program, or
that's extra components for the flexible export limit. But right now we are still working on our own one, and that's another story. This is AC plug.
Right, so it's pretty simple. Effectively, every connection is done externally to the product.
Yeah, everything's, so this one's pretty mature, and also most important part, we got a screen.
Right.
Yeah, I think Australia customers will definitely love the screen for that.
So this is a touch screen, there's no
touch
buttons.
screen. Yeah, there's a button just like here. There's like old iPhone's home button.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for showing me the Growatt battery-ready inverter, Rex.
Thank you, Glenn. We appreciate for your help.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you. Have a good day.
G'day, I'm here with Jack Wright-Smith from EVO Power at the Smart Energy Conference in Brisbane, and it's really exciting to be here, but it's even more exciting, Jack, to be in front of this monolithic unit. Jack, what are we standing in front of?
We are standing in front of a cattle battery rack with fully inbuilt integrated auxiliary power and fly suppression.
Wow, okay. So these are 5 kilowatt hour batteries?
About 50 kilowatt hour batteries. All
50 per unit?
Yes, per module, all slide in.
Wow, okay, so in this cabinet, how many kilowatt hours have we got?
In this 8 module one, we've got about 372.
Look at that, wow.
And then for the different systems we use, we can vary the amount of modules for different capacities.
Looks like these are series connected, so what sort of operating voltage are we at?
This one would be up to 1500 volts DC.
Wow, okay. And who makes them?
Cattle. Cattle is the OEM from China.
Wow, I think cattle's pretty big.
They are massive. I think 50% of the share of batteries in the world. So.
Right. So it's probably a name that many people haven't heard because it's embedded in other products.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's got an interesting, it's an acronym, isn't it? I just remember learning it once. Put you on the spot there.
Yes.
We'll put it in the description, don't worry.
But it's quite a lengthy one.
So, where are these being deployed?
In commercial and industrial sites. So, can be installed in direct sunlight, so near shopping centres, out in the open, near petrol stations for EV chargers, and even some massive mansions, people installing them. So quite varied sites.
Right. Now this unit looks like it could go outside.
Absolutely, yes. Outdoor rated for up to 55 degrees Celsius.
Right, so you don't have to put it in a special weather protected enclosure.
Direct sunlight.
And it doesn't actually have a plastic screen, it's a metal cabinet?
It is a metal cabinet.
Just so we know?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Jack, these are series connected, and what sort of voltage ranges can you use?
So for the Neo system, we use between 800 to 1200 volts, which is 6 of the modules. And for some of our DC coupled and amp series systems, we use 7 and 8 modules.
So at those sort of voltages, what's the PCE going to be?
The PCE for the Neo system will be a Delta PCS 100 HV, which ranges from 800 to 1200 volts. Then we're using some Interteam PCSs for the much higher, up to 11 kV transformer kind of systems.
Oh, right, okay. And can you couple these together to get larger storage capacity?
Yes, much larger. Yeah, up to, I think we're doing at the moment 8 batteries for the Neo, so up to about 2 megawatt hours. So,
wow, 2 megawatt hours.
Massive capacities.
Gosh, and some people actually have one of these in a home?
Yes, people who enjoy showing off the battery system at their house, peak shaving, solar self-consumption, do have these installed next to their house. 700
kilowatt hours, yeah, that'll do me just nicely. I'll charge it once a year.
Exactly, yes.
Well, thanks very much, Jack.
Thank you for your time, Dan. Cheers.
Okay. Well, here I am with Cameron Buckland from Ecoteq, standing in front of the mean green mowers. Now, why are they called mean and green?
Good question. I think it's probably the strength and durability of them. They're incredible, and I think they look mean myself.
That's the mean bit. What's the green bit?
100% electric.
These are electric?
100% electric, yeah. So no belts, no oil, no filters. Yeah, very little maintenance, if any. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, a lot of people have green mowers, electric mowers, and they last for half an hour or so. How long do these last for?
So they'll go 8 hours on a charge. So they up to 8 hours. Heavy grass, thicker grass, it's going to make a difference, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll do 8 hours on a single charge and a 12-hour charge time.
Now, the one we're standing in front of, it's pretty wide. What sort of deck's this?
It's a 74-inch deck, so basically 6 foot.
It's got 2 sweeps from my back garden and I'm done. Wow.
Yeah, it's got 5 blades.
Yeah.
And so they're all resistance monitored as well, with lights on your front of your mower, so you can control your mowing and your battery power while you're actually mowing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Cameron, this is the mean green unit. What's this big thing at the front here?
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. That's what we call fan for blowing off pathways and or a blower.
So after you've mowed, you can clean up.
Correct.
Wow.
So we've got testimonials for people it's saving up to 8 hours a week in parks and gardens.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that they can drive along after they've mowed, blow all the debris off the paths, make it look clean and tidy without getting off the mower.
So this is kind of a commercial unit.
Correct.
Have you got anything for like a rural property with a big back garden?
Towards the end of this year, early next year, we will have a domestic model becoming available.
Yep.
It's called the Nemesis. So if you look on the Ecoteq website, or hopefully it should be in the coming soon, and it's will be more concentrated on the domestic user.
Cool. Well, I'm excited because I don't want to hear a noisy petrol mower ever again.
Thank you, Glenn. And that's where the massive advantages are, is contractors and councils, they're loving the fact that their operators are getting off feeling a lot fresher with no vibrations, no noise, no fumes after a day's work.
That's a good point, because actually the motor is the main vibrating source in a normal mower.
Correct, absolutely.
Right.
And so with the next model down from this, only runs at 78 decibels, so don't even need a pair of earmuffs.
Right, you could mow in a library.
Correct. Absolutely.
Thanks, Cameron.
No worries. Thank you, Glenn.
Cool. Well, I'm here with Andy Wang from Solplanet at the Brisbane Smart Energy Expo. It's so exciting to be here again, and with Solplanet, you've got some new stuff here.
Yeah, sure, Glenn. Yeah, we have got some new product here. Yeah.
So what have we got behind me? Is this the world's smallest inverter?
No, it's this EV charger. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a Dorothy Dix question. Yeah, this is. Look, I'm going to correct you. It's called a EVSE. Electric Vehicle Supply Equipment. Everyone calls them chargers. Chargers in the car, right?
All right.
But good on you. Everyone's going to call it a charger. We can't help it. But it's a Solplanet unit. So you're making EVSEs now.
Yeah. We also make a manufacturer EV charger as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so this is part of the Solplanet ecosystem. It works in collaboration with Solplanet inverters.
Yeah, for this one, you can work with the other Solplanet product.
Yep.
It also can work independently. You just got some normal AC power, yeah? You can charge the EV.
Right, so it looks like it's a Type 2 connection.
Yes.
For the vehicle, which is the most popular one.
Yes.
It's basically the one now in Australia.
Correct.
So you can, if you've got a single phase supply, can you use one of these?
Yeah, for the one you see here is the single phase charger. It's the 7.4 kilowatt.
Yes.
But we also have the three phase EV charger. It's 22 kilowatt.
Right, so the same form factor?
Yes, it looks quite similar. Yeah.
Right. I see it's got a little screen on there. Does it tell you stuff?
Yeah. We've got some LED indicator here.
Yep.
Like it can tell you when you start charging or when you stop, and also you can see how much power you're charging.
So Andy, I noticed it's got an RFID badge on the front. What's that about? Let's get a bit closer to it.
Yeah, here you can see here. Here's for the RFID. So it's like the authorization. If you use the RFID, you can use the RFID card to start charging or stop charging, and also you can stop and start charging by the app.
Oh, right. So you can use the app. So you can use this as a controlled charging point, like in a business. You want to be able to authorize some people to charge.
Yeah. Yes, and as long as you have the card, anyone can charge it.
Cool. Now you've got some other stuff here I haven't seen. I haven't seen the hybrid inverter before. So tell me a bit about this.
This is the second generation single phase hybrid inverter, and it's from the 3 to 6 kilowatt, and it's used low voltage battery, and it's got 2 MPPT here, and you can see here is we got the EPS. You also call it like backup function, and also the normal on grid here. Yeah, and for this inverter, you can use as the off grid mode, and
really,
the switch over time is only 10 milliseconds.
Yes,
you can switch from the on grid to off grid. Yeah.
Right, so it's got built-in changeover switch, no external box required.
No, not necessarily.
That's a big plus.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, it's the beautiful Solplanet blue.
Yeah, it's just our colors.
That's great. Thanks very much, Andy.
No worries. Nice to talk to you.
So I'm here at the Smart Energy Expo in Brisbane with Scott Young from Catch Power. Look, Scott and I have known each other a fair while now, and we've played with a lot of kit together. But Catch Power keep amazing with what's new. I mean, we've had the Catch Diverter, right? Everyone loves it. It's probably the most popular one in Australia and New Zealand, I think, by a far shot.
Yep.
The Catch Solar Relay, can you grab one for me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which is actually one of my favourites because it's great for what I do, which is off-grid control of loads. But there's something new, something dreadful.
Something very dreadful. Very punny, Glenn. So yeah, we're working on another device that's going to be a companion product to this that'll offer dread control or DRM control for any of those loads that have that capability, and the most obvious one is air conditioners.
Yeah.
So what that means is between electric hot water and air conditioning, Catch Power products will be able to match the two biggest loads of your house to your solar production.
Yeah, so that's always been the catch, I'm a bit of a punter, is that you can't use a solar relay for things that cycle, like air conditioners.
It's not great, no.
It's not great hard stopping them.
That's right, that's right.
With, I better explain for the punters, DREAD is an acronym. It stands for Demand Response Enabled Device. It's actually a standard, and it allows a little device like this over a communication protocol to tell, say, an aircon to reduce its duty cycle on its compressor, to run just the fan, for instance, if you want it super low efficient mode. Therefore, it can run at different power levels.
Yes, so DREAD or DRM, Dynamic
Response mode.
Response Management? No, Demand Response Management.
We've got it. Demand response mode.
Is it mode? Is it right? So
we'll get there in the end, guys.
So there's three inputs, and it allows it to do 4 settings, which is fan only, 50% load, 75% load, and flat out. So that means that it basically gives you the ability to run your air conditioner all day and keep that load under the solar curve, come home to a nice cool house, and it's cost you nothing.
Wow, yeah. Like you say, you're capturing the biggest loads. So water heating and air conditioning, biggest fixed loads in a house.
Yes.
And they're often not time dependent. Like people think aircon needs to run when you're sitting in the room, but actually if you're pretty cool,
it's so much better.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of energy inertia in cooling the things inside your house.
Yep.
Anyone who's measured the load of your air conditioner when you've come into a house that's been heated all day, you come home from work and your house is like radiating from the inside, that takes a lot of energy to get that down to a comfortable temperature. Well, if you've done that all day for free, why not do it?
Yeah, and chances are it's the right temperature when you go to bed and you don't need it anymore.
And then you don't need it anymore. Yes, exactly. Yep.
So pre-cooling is a great way of soaking up all that surplus solar, but you do need the smarts to control it so that you don't start importing grid power.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a really great way of smoothing your solar self-consumption. I mean, who needs a battery, basically?
Oh, exactly. Yes. Exactly. Why bother?
Yeah, it's a battery in a box.
Battery in a box. Exactly. In your house, in your hot water tank. It's all there. Yes.
Cool.
That's it.
Well, thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Glenn. Always a pleasure.
Great. We're so good at. So I'm here with Ricky Zhang. Is that right?
Ricky. Yeah.
I'm here with Ricky Zhang from Alpha ESS. Now, I've had an Alpha ESS since the early days. The Smile 5, I think. Oh, it must be 5 years old or more.
5 years old,
yeah,
that's right.
At least, and it runs the kitchen in my house. It's actually on every day, running the heaviest loads without a hitch. It's fabulous. So I'm very excited, but there's now a new one. Now it's called the Smile G3. What's that about, Ricky?
Well, actually, Smile 5 was promoted like 5 years ago, and this is our first generation. And last year, we actually promoted our high voltage range, which is our second generation. And now we actually put all the function to our newest product, which is Smile G3. So G3 means it's third generation. Yeah. So this is our new product, which is, as you can see over there, that's a 5 kilowatts hybrid inverter with 10.1 kilowatt hour battery.
So before we started recording, we were chatting about this unit, and you were telling me that even though it's a 5 kilowatt inverter, it can do 2 things at the same time.
It can be charging and discharging at the same time, 5 kilowatts.
So it can charge the battery at 5 kilowatts and invert 5 kilowatts of AC power.
That's right.
So that's really 10 kilowatts of usefulness.
That's right. That's why we designed to get 200% PV oversize for the G3.
Right. Wow. So suddenly a 5 kilowatt inverter just wants 10 kilowatts of solar to maximize your self-use and your storage, topping up during the day.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. What else has changed about the Smile G3 compared to the earlier models?
Well, the Smile 5 has been on the market for 5 years. I mean, it's really good products, but everything has been changing, and we got some new technology with the solar panel industry as well. So we have to do some update to meet the new requirement in this market. So first of all, as we just mentioned, we will increase the maximum short PV input to 10 kilowatts, and we'll also increase the maximum short circuit current to 18 amps to meet the new technology for
18 amps.
That's right.
Whoa, that's great, because that's a big challenge at the moment for some companies.
That's right. That's right. So we'll increase it to 18 amps.
Yep.
And also we'll have some new dodgy functions. We have grid forming functions.
Yes.
Which means we can actually back up the existing solar inverter when there's a blackout.
Right, so on your backup port, you can create a grid that other inverters can synchronize with.
That's
so you can
right.
AC couple in off-grid.
That's right.
That's a huge plus.
That's right.
Wow.
So all the 5 kilowatt system, all the inverters within 5 kilowatt
Yep.
can be grid forming by the new G3.
Yep.
Yeah. And also we will have another parallel function, because recently I got lots of inquiries with the Smile 5, said, hey Ricky, can I get 2 of the Smile 5 installed in single phase? Well, the answer was no, but yes, right now.
You can parallel the outputs.
That's right. And the maximum system you can get in parallel will be 6.
Wow,
So-
okay. So that would mean you've got a 30 kilowatt system.
That's right.
Whoa.
And you're actually working as a master and a slave.
Yep.
So you actually use one master account to control the whole project.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, you mentioned something else about surge capacity, so it can be used off-grid as well.
All right. Yeah, it can be on-grid and off-grid. I mean, we call it off-grid not only because we have UPS function. The more important thing is it can be it can be connected with the generator, and we have auto start function, because it's supposed to be designed for the off-grid customers, and maybe they have they have get a generator ages ago, or maybe more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't really want this customer to get rid of the existing generator, but use it as a backup of the battery. So we can use the auto start function. Like when the battery SLC is below to a certain level, we can automatically turn on the generator to charge the battery, or we can set a specific time slot to automatically control it.
I think you've just covered one of the issues I often have when people say it's off-grid. If it hasn't got a generator auto start function, to me that's not really true off-grid.
Yeah.
So you do have that.
That's right, because
Wow.
that's what we experienced before. Because
Yeah.
we got lots of off-grid customers last year when we promoted the S6,
Yep.
and almost all of them come with a generator. So I think there will be a really good, not like selling point, but it will be a really good attractive for these customers who had a generator with them for a long time.
Yeah, great. All right, well, thanks, Ricky.
No worries.
Okay.